Welcome, curious minds. Today, we're embarking on a really deep dive into a topic that's always buzzing. Potential, peril. How do you actually find the next big thing in crypto? You've asked us to unpack this landscape, right? Emerging assets, moving beyond just Bitcoin into, well, the wild world of altcoins.
Yeah.
So our mission today is basically to give you the insights, the resources to navigate this incredibly fast-moving frontier.
Exactly. And what's so fascinating, I think, is that Bitcoin kind of laid the groundwork, sure, but the sheer volume and diversity of altcoins now, it presents huge opportunities, but also, yeah, significant challenges.
Definitely.
So we'll be looking at how to spot potential gems and maybe more importantly, what you really need to consider before you jump in.
Okay, let's unpack that. We all know Bitcoin, obviously, but altcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, that term covers a lot of ground. What actually falls under it? And why are investors so keen on them?
Right. Altcoins are, well, fundamentally any cryptocurrency that isn't Bitcoin. Simple as that, definition-wise. But that includes long-standing ones like Ethereum, that's been around since 2013.
Yeah, a veteran, relatively speaking.
Totally. And it also includes brand new stuff, very speculative projects. The big draw for a lot of people is that potential for massive returns, finding that project during its explosive growth phase.
Getting in early.
But look, it's a high-stakes game. Many altcoins have their moment, maybe a brief one, and then the price just fades. Or worse.
So it really sounds like timing is everything getting in, but also knowing when to get out. Which brings us to the really interesting part. Where do you even start looking for these new coins, these tokens that are just starting to get traction?
Yeah, good question. We've kind of identified several key places, resources, each giving you a slightly different angle.
Okay.
So first up, there is a platform called Best Wallet. Think of it as a kind of crypto launchpad.
Okay.
Yeah, they have this feature, upcoming tokens. It lets users get early, sometimes exclusive access. They say they vet projects pretty thoroughly looking at white papers, tokenomics.
Right, the fundamentals.
Exactly. So you can potentially see stuff like the current stage price, the project roadmap, the official launch date, maybe before the general public, and that can be a real edge, right? Getting in at the best possible price.
That early access sounds tempting. But how much weight should you put on their vetting process? I mean, they have an incentive to promote these, don't they?
That's a really sharp point. You absolutely should not rely solely on their vetting. It's a starting point, maybe a flag that says, look here, but you have to do your own homework.
Okay.
Read the white paper yourself, check out the team, see what the community's saying on other platforms. Best Wallet gives you an early look, but the final call, that's on you.
Got it. Due diligence is still key. So what's next after Best Wallet?
Okay, then you have CoinMarketCap, probably the best known one. It's a free website, massive resource. They call themselves the world's most trusted source of crypto data.
Big claim.
It is. Their whole mission, they say, is to accelerate the crypto revolution by making crypto intelligence easy to access. You can filter for, the biggest gainers in the last 24 hours.
Right, see what's hot right now.
Exactly. But it also has filters for trending cryptos, upcoming launches, coins just added, so it gives you different ways to slice the market data.
So a strong day is a signal, maybe, but not a guarantee for the future. It's just positive momentum now.
Precisely. It's a starting point for more research, not the end point.
What about its main competitor or counterpart?
Yeah, that would be CoinGecko. It's quite similar to CoinMarketCap, also free, also shows top performers over 24 hours.
Okay.
But interestingly, it often features slightly different assets in those top spots. So using both isn't really redundant. You get a broader picture. CoinGecko also shows current price, volume, all that standard stuff. And helpfully, it lists the top losers right below the winners.
Relevant for shorting, maybe. Though we should definitely add a word of caution there.
Absolutely. Shorting crypto is extremely risky. You're betting against the price and your potential losses. Well, they can be unlimited if the price rockets up instead of down. So yeah, big warning label on that.
Definitely. Any other bonuses from CoinGecko?
Yeah, they also have quite a few educational resources, stuff to help you get, a bit savvier about crypto trading, market dynamics, worth checking out.
Okay, good to know. So beyond these big data platforms, what about the places where people actually, click the buy button?
Right, the centralized crypto exchanges, places like Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, etc. They're actually excellent spots for discovery, too.
How so?
Well, they make it really easy to spot coins that are gaining momentum right there on the platform. And the huge advantage is, if you see something performing well, you can potentially invest instantly, right there.
Yeah.
No moving funds around.
Yeah, seamless.
Very. And many exchanges also specifically list newly added cryptos, or they have screeners where you can filter by price movement, market cap, volume, all sorts of things. So they kind of curate lists for you.
Makes sense. And finally,
Mm.
the place where so many trends seem to bubble up from, for better or worse.
Yes. Social media, can't ignore it. Platforms like X, formerly Twitter, Reddit, Discord. Staying active there, following crypto folks, influencers, it can genuinely reveal assets that are still flying under the radar.
The alpha, as they call it.
Sometimes, yeah. It also gives you this real-time pulse on sentiment. And you have to remember, especially with altcoins, momentum is so often driven by emotion, by hype, by virality.
Totally.
You can kind of gauge popularity by looking at engagement levels, how much buzz there is around a project.
And this feels like a huge... But how do you separate the signal from the noise? Social media is famous for hype, for scams, for pump and dumps.
Oh, absolutely. That is the critical challenge. Rule number one, cross-reference everything. If only one influencer is hyping a coin, big red flag. Look for organic discussion across multiple reputable sources. Look for sustained engagement, not just a sudden spike. And always, always combine social media whispers with the hard data and the fundamental analysis from places like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and your own white paper research.
And remember that influencer is definitely not your registered financial advisor.
Exactly. Never take their word as gospel. It's input, not investment advice.
Okay. So let's say you've used these tools, you've waded through the noise, and you found a few candidates that look interesting, promising, maybe. Now what? How do you actually evaluate them? What separates the potential gem from, just another fleeting pump?
Right. This is where the real work begins. Distinguishing the promising from the purely speculative. There are, I'd say, 3 key things to really dig into. A sort of checklist.
Okay, let's hear it.
First, and maybe most importantly, utility. Ask yourself, does this crypto actually do something?
Right. Does it have a purpose?
Precisely. Bitcoin's utility, whether as a payment method or a store of value like digital gold, that's relatively clear. Ethereum, its utility is being the payment system for its own massive blockchain, right? Facilitating NFTs, DeFi apps, all that stuff. Having real utility helps distinguish genuine projects from those pump and dump schemes. The more valuable the function, or if it has its own blockchain, the more traffic and use that network gets, the better its chances of sticking around and actually performing well long term. It needs a reason to exist beyond just speculation.
Okay, utility. That makes sense. What's number 2?
Number 2 is momentum. Now, we talked about seeing price jumps on CoinMarketCap or whatever, but this is about understanding the recent price action more deeply. Can it signal a real buying opportunity?
How do you gauge that beyond just price went up?
Well, especially for the more speculative altcoins, maybe meme coins, traders rely heavily on technical indicators, things like simple moving averages, SMAs, the relative strength index, RSI, Bollinger Bands.
Okay, getting technical now.
Yeah, just a bit. But these tools basically help you identify trends, figure out if something might be overbought or oversold, measure volatility. You don't need to be a pro trader, but familiarizing yourself with some basic technical analysis concepts, it's really key for trying to time those entries and exits.
So utility tells you if it's worth considering. Momentum helps with when to potentially consider it.
Yep.
What's the third piece? You mentioned getting in and out quickly earlier.
Exactly. That brings us to number 3, liquidity. And this is absolutely vital, especially in crypto.
Why so critical?
Because you should really only enter positions in cryptos that have high liquidity. That means there's enough trading volume, enough buyers and sellers that you can get in and out of a trade quickly without your own trade significantly moving the price.
So you don't get stuck.
Precisely. Given how volatile crypto is, you need to be able to cut your losses fast if things go south. High liquidity allows that. It also lets you take profits when you want to, especially with those speculative altcoins where you might want to exit quickly after a price surge. Low liquidity means you might not find a buyer when you want to sell, or you'll have to accept a much lower price. It's a huge risk factor.
Utility, momentum,
Yeah.
liquidity. Okay, that's a solid framework. So we've covered how to find potential projects, what to look for. But the big question for our listener facing this sort of wild west of new coins is probably still, should I even invest in these new crypto projects? Is it worth the risk?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Connecting it all back. Look, picking the right project at the right time, it can lead to absolutely tremendous gains life-changing sometimes. We've seen it happen.
Right, the stories are out there.
They are, but it comes with a massive warning.
Oh.
The hard truth is the vast majority of these new projects simply won't make it long-term. Some are, unfortunately, just straight-up pump-and-dump schemes designed purely to enrich the creators and early insiders. Others might have good intentions, but just fail to deliver any real utility, any reason for people to hold them. Their value proposition is weak or non-existent.
So a lot of potential pitfalls. What's the bottom line then for someone thinking about dipping their toes in? That listener who's intrigued, but also, rightly, a bit nervous.
The most important takeaway, honestly, is this. Only invest money that you are genuinely 100% willing to lose.
The golden rule.
It really is, especially here. These assets are incredibly volatile. They are highly speculative. Always evaluate any crypto based on those factors we discussed: utility, momentum, liquidity, its long-term potential before you commit any capital. Treat it like a high-risk, high-reward venture because that's exactly what it is, not a savings account.
Absolutely. Wow, that was an incredible deep dive. We really covered a lot of ground, from the platforms for discovery to the nitty-gritty of evaluating these altcoins.
Yeah, it's a complex space, but understanding those key things, utility, momentum, liquidity, and just being acutely aware of the risks, that's paramount. It's your best defense, really.
Definitely. And, as you all continue your own journey of discovery in crypto, just a quick note.
Yeah.
Your engagement here really does help us. Subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, even just liking the video, it all plays a huge part in helping others find this content through the algorithm. It genuinely supports the show and lets us keep creating these kinds of deep dives for you.
Yeah, it makes a difference. So as you're processing all this information, maybe think about this. How might understanding these criteria, utility, momentum, liquidity, change how you read the next news headline about some hot new crypto?
Good question.
What questions does this deep dive spark for your own research going forward?
We really encourage you to keep exploring, keep asking those tough questions, and keep learning. Until our next deep dive, stay curious.